look at this.
Greg,
Yes.
Coach is cleared to play. Can you tell us what your plans are for this weekend with him?
He'll play. Start or come in, he'll play. I mean, he's ready. He's fit. He's been training before he came, he was training with Gremio. Obviously, there was a little window of time in his transition to get here where he wasn't, but he was still working out, and he's trained since he arrived. So his fitness is there. In terms of how many match minutes he's fit, we'll kind of be able to tell once he gets out there and starts playing. But his fitness is and all those things, he's ready to be a part of it.
Coach, in terms of chemistry?
Sorry.
How about in terms of chemistry?
Great. I think he's starting to and in communication with his guys, and we've been trying to do a lot of work over the last couple of weeks, even though he hasn't been able to play, integrating him into the role that we see him, working with the players that are around him. He's obviously a very, very smart player. I think it's more the guys getting used to him. As I was just talking to Jules is like, he never looks at me when he passes me the ball, right? He's always looking off, and then he's like, so I just got to keep running because the ball's going to come. So it's just guys, I think, as much getting used to him as he is getting used to other players. So, but it's been nice to have him. His quality is for all to see every single day. It's fun to watch, and again, he's just integrating into the group, and the process on the defensive side as well is something we're just connecting as well. So,
Greg, you didn't see Sega out there today. What's his condition? Is he going to be available for Sunday? And also, we noticed that Derek was out here training full capacity. What is his availability for Sunday?
Sega should be available. He's actually, the shoulder elbow issue, whichever it was when he landed, is actually okay. We're dealing with something a little bit else, but he should be fine. Everything should be cleared, and he should be back into training on tomorrow, actually.
Greg, you've had success a lot of different levels in this league and a lot of different lenses. How does this group feel different maybe than others in the past, or teams that you've taken to ultimately win that trophy?
Yeah, it's a talented group, especially on the attacking side. We have a lot of different weapons, guys who do things a little bit different than the next guy. So it's just, again, about those relationships on the field continuing to grow and to blossom. And then it just becomes about our group's ability to defend, to keep things out of our goal. Even today, as I said to the guys, there's times when the level is off the charts, and then there's a few moments, it's early in the year, where we are chaos out there a little bit, where we just need to settle the game down and keep our level high all the time. And so once I think we start to establish that, it's going to be a really good group. And the collective defending side, I'm just going to keep saying it because I hope they keep listening to me say it, is the important side. If we can bring down or split in half even our goals against last year, then we're going to be in the mix to win a lot of things.
Hey Greg, I know you talked about talked about Douglas Costa. You only had a couple of days with him. Yep. Previously, you talked about playing him at the 10 or the wing. What do you envision for Sunday for Costa in the position?
Yeah, I mean, he could play either role, to be honest. I like to set him up with opportunities to be on his left foot as much as possible. That's where his magic really, really happens. So, he can play in both roles, and we might vary him throughout the course of the game just to give different looks to New York City, because he's a little bit different in each of those roles. But his ability to, again, find the pass, to eliminate the first defender, to open up new scenarios is special. And wherever that is, it will be beneficial for us.
Eric Zabaleta is in your plans, Coach?
Eric is in process of being finalized, so I don't know if he'll be available for this week, but hopefully we can get something done and he'll be into the group here in the next couple of weeks.
Greg, as you were incorporating so many new personalities last season, I know you were looking for on-field leadership, especially in the midfield. Is that something you're kind of approaching differently now as you start and kind of go into this and knowing how to set the tone and look for that early on?
Yeah, I think it's a great thing. Great question, because this team, a little bit, it was about leadership and about presence. Adding some of the veteran players that we have into the mix. Douglas is still quiet, but you can see him talking and having conversations with guys. But guys who we've added, Markey, not a super vocal guy, but his presence and his knowledge of the league has really helped. But even Kelvin Leardom is a guy who really has a voice. He's communicating. It's challenging some of our other players to continue to step up and take that role. But I feel like this, as a whole, the group is a lot more mature this year than it even was last year. The players who came mid-season or came at some point during the season had the season to learn to grow, to understand what MLS is about, to get more confident with each other, to develop relationships. And everybody's come in, I think, more mature a year later for the experience, and also the heartache of the last game and being in the playoffs for 85 minutes or 33 games in 85 minutes and not being at the end has put a chip on the shoulder for some guys. So I think the leadership is there. It's something we keep challenging the group with. I think these days with everybody and their phones, I think finding guys and people who are out there is not as easy as it once was. And so we keep challenging this group to be more vocal with each other.
Greg, speaking of leadership, when we talk about Javier going into his third season with LA Galaxy, second under you, have you seen his role change at all, or what are your expectations?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of leadership and communication, Javi's at the top of the group. He's always coaching on the field. He's giving feedback to guys. He's, again, more comfortable in the group. I think he's more comfortable and confident with the pieces that are around on the team, having a better sense of how to work with each guy and what each guy, how they take information when he's providing information. So his role from that perspective continues to grow in that leadership role, both in the locker room and on the field. Sometimes it's not the easiest to lead from the front. It's a little bit easier sometimes to lead from a deeper position on the field, but he certainly is doing it and plays a great role in sort of setting the tone for our group and the intensity of our group. So he'll continue to do that this year. I think that's just who he is, and I think he's really confident and comfortable in our group to be that guy.
Two more questions for Greg.
Greg, you seem to have a lot more options on the back line this year compared to last year. How do you go about getting that group a consistent forward that you can sit out there game in, game out?
Yeah, I think it's repetition. First and foremost, we've got to keep guys healthy and available. Unfortunately, Derek obviously missed a good chunk of preseason, so Sega had a couple issues last year where he was in and then he was out, and it's in. And I think as much as anything, it's repetition, it's relationships on there, it's being able to do that. Obviously, Jules coming into another year, Kelvin is there to give us support and experience in those moments where we need him. Raheem is a player who obviously has experience in the league, but he's growing into the position a little bit and learning the nuances of some of the position, and Jorge's experience goes. So we have options, but I do think it's a lot about repetition and relationships and just working together on the field. It's getting to know each other's strengths and weaknesses and going through a lot of different repetitions and different scenarios in the game and understanding collectively how you're going to solve those problems. So we have a year of experience from last year, which will help us. We continue to throw new scenarios and new situations at these guys in repetition. The way this year plays out in terms of the schedule, where we don't have a ton of games on top of each other, we have a lot of training weeks, really I think helps us because we can provide those repetitions during the week as we prepare for matches and what we think oppositions are going to bring against us.
Last question. And Leardom, how do you determine who's at right back?
Yeah, I think we have two good options. I think, for me, Jules is usually going to be our primary guy. We want his legs to get up and down the sideline to provide us some attack. But Kelvin gives us a calm method, a real methodical look on the outside. He will stay home. He provides just a lot of calm and he provides some communication, where Jules it gives you the up and down and a lot of that dynamic work. And so I think there's two good options. Again, Jules is a player we believe in his future and we believe in his continued development. So as long as he's staying on top of his game, he's the guy that will probably get the majority of the minutes, but it's open. It's a competition, which I think Jules needs to learn about a little bit too.
Do you switch in terms of right back, left back? In that left back, you got the same thing with Villafana and Edwards, up and down or methodical. Do you look to have one methodical and one up and down?
Not necessarily, but it's an option. I mean, we'll see depending on how guys are playing, their form, and also maybe occasionally what the opposition may bring. If we want to keep a third guy kind of at home, we may keep one of the guys that maybe plays the role a little more methodical. But those are decisions that we've made kind of as we go. Want to keep everybody healthy, then we keep all of our options on board. But if anybody unfortunately gets into that situation, we still have options to be able to cover ourselves. I think also when we get into the training days like today, it's a very competitive group of 20 to 22 players who get after it, which is important in keeping everybody at their sharpest.
So okay. Which game would Jalen Neal make his debut?
I'm not sure. Maybe this weekend. You never know. All right.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks for your time, Greg.
It's showtime. I've been talking, and I think all of us will be talking in the preseason that we want this day to come, and we need to prove it inside the pitch, inside of this excellent stadium. So I mean, we're giving our best. I'm giving my best personally, and I can speak out from my teammates and all the staff. And like I said, since I arrived here until now, you've seen the improvement of the whole organization. Of course, it's a process. Of course, we need to go step by step. Sometimes people and us, we just want to expect that everything comes from one day to another, but it takes time, it takes process. But yeah, we're going to give everything on Sunday. We play against the actual champions, so it's going to be a great match, and yeah, we're ready to go.
What are the things along the lines of getting ready for this season? How does it feel different from maybe the last 2 seasons here with this group?
I mean, we want to make it different, qualifying for playoffs and winning the championship. That's it. That's the only thing that I'm going to tell you. I cannot speak of how different it is because we need to prove it on Sunday. Imagine I'm going to see you guys next week. If we lose, well, we're going to talk about it. And if we win, well, we're going to talk about it. It depends on the moment. We need to go by day. And depending on the result, I'm going to keep telling you the same, that I'm going to try to give my best. That it's a process, that if it's a win, a draw, a loss, yeah, it's the first game of the season, but as well, we want to start with the right foot, obviously. We want to go and win every single match. That's the goal of my mind and the whole organization.
Hey, Chicha, obviously, Douglas Costa, he got clear to play on Sunday. What kind of conversations have you had? Obviously, we know how motivated you are, but what kind of conversations?
Great conversations, man.
With him about this?
Amazing conversations.
Would you care to share some of those?
And he's ready to go, and he wants to show what he does best, that is playing soccer, and he's very thankful for this opportunity to come with the best organization, with one of the greatest cities in this country. So, I mean, he's so happy to be involved, and we all are excited and finally happy that his work visa came.
Javier, what are you seeing?
This is your first full season with this coaching staff and this group of guys. What's the familiarity like this time around? How does it feel different?
It feels amazing. I think a part that I love what I do, that is playing soccer, because as you know, as my background with my family, I've been involved in sport since I was in the belly of my mom, but I love competing. I love competing with myself. I love to wake up and try to be a better version of myself, and that's something that I want to do, inside the pitch and outside the pitch with everyone. I am 33 years old, and people think that I'm almost over, and I don't feel that I'm over, so that's the only thing that it's in my mind, and we're all very happy that our chemistry is getting along. Like I answered the first question, it's a process. It takes time, obviously, and there's new players. We are a lot of players that we stay comparing last season, and yeah, I said it before 2 weeks ago that we learned from a very hurtful experience that we were the only team that we start last season in playoff spots, and just the last second we were out, not the only team. So it was a very hurtful lesson, but yeah, we want to learn and show it since this Sunday so we can qualify for the playoffs.
Javier, what are the biggest things that you see maybe different in Efra? In what ways do you see him advancing?
Man, it's so difficult to speak about players because he's so talented, and we all know, and that's why you bring it up. But sometimes, I don't know if it's good or bad to speak about it, because sometimes you can praise him so much and then it's more pressure on him. Sometimes what I want to tell is like, he's a young player, that he has a bright future. Like, I have a bright future too, even though I'm 33. I don't know what's going to happen in 3 or 4 years. You never know. So young is just a stereotype that we want to put in our profession, and I get it. We cannot be soccer players since you came to this world until you are 60 years old. I get it, but we need to let them get to that process, let him just develop, grow. Hopefully he can get some more minutes. But as Efra, as Julian, as all the young players, and as myself, Sasha, Victor, we have the same value in this organization. We have more experience or less experience. The manager is going to use us probably more than other players, but we all have the same value. We all want to perform, to give the best out of them, because I depend from Efra. Efra depends on me. I depend from my whole team, and the whole team depends on me. That's the type of family that we want to show since this Sunday, and that's the only thing that I can say for Efra, because I don't want to put more pressure on him. He has so much talent, but he has as well long way to go to prove that, and I think he can achieve his potential for sure.
Hablas del proceso, el proceso para ti en lo personal, pensando en que vas a arrancar el tercer año con LA Galaxy. ¿Cómo sientes que tu rol ha cambiado, o si va a cambiar de lo que esperas?
Creo que sigue siendo el mismo, ¿no? Demostrar el por qué estoy en esta liga, el por qué se habla tanto, el por qué esta organización puso todo ese esfuerzo para que yo pudiera venir y pudiera ayudar a poder conseguir la sexta estrella, y más que si cambió o no. Lo que te puedo decir es que estoy feliz, muy agradecido con otra oportunidad de poder arrancar otro torneo profesional en este país, en esta liga. Y Y sí, nada más, quiero que se vean los cambios obviamente dentro del campo y como lo dije en una entrevista, ¿no? Yo cambiaría muchísimos goles por puntos y por poder calificar a los playoffs y levantar una copa.
Chicharito, ¿sigues con tu olfato goleador?
Solo una segunda en el tema de que has externado que obvio el sueño es el campeonato y ese es el sueño que tú tienes con esta institución. Estando aquí en Los Ángeles, los Rams recién fueron campeones, una ciudad de equipos campeones, ¿no? ¿Cómo sientes también de ser parte y ahora pensar en esa posición?
Mira, he bromeado mucho ahí con mis compañeros y que entre broma y broma la verdad se asoma, como se dice en mi país, pero ya nos toca a nosotros. Ya nos toca a nosotros, es algo muy bonito, nos están poniendo el ejemplo y ahora toca a este hermoso deporte como lo es el fútbol en esta ciudad que ya seamos campeones.
Javier, en ese tema,
¿En esa qué, perdón?
en ese tema, tienes 2 años ya aquí en Los Ángeles. ¿Sientes que ha cambiado tu perspectiva de esta ciudad en esos 2 años que...
Esta ciudad ha sido maravillosa desde el día 1 y yo creo que el mundo cambió un poco con lo del COVID cuando yo también llegué, pero lo único que tengo son palabras de agradecimiento en esta ciudad.
Chicharito, con ese olfato goleador que aún tienes, 17 goles de la temporada pasada, ¿crees que aún estás en deuda con la afición desde que llegaste y dijiste tenía el campeonato? ¿Qué le dices a la afición que quiere ese campeonato? ¿Crees tú que estás en deuda con ellos y que este año podría ser?
Yo lo único que quiero es que darles el campeonato y ya está.
Javier, hablando de
la dinámica ahora con Costa, ¿podrías describirnos cómo es?
Ojalá se pueda ver el domingo. Ojalá, yo me llevo muy bien con él, habla español, jugamos en contra, hemos tenido experiencias europeas, le llevo nada más 2 años a él, entonces creo que va a ser una buena mancuerna, pero más que eso, como lo dije cuando él no estaba aquí y ahora también que él llega, aquí no juega Chicharito y Douglas Costa, aquí juega el LA Galaxy y aquí no va a importar quién haga los goles, quién haga las asistencias, aquí todos queremos elevar nuestro nivel para tratar de darlo lo mejor para el logro colectivo que es el que más importa, ¿no? El ganar puntos en nuestra casa, tratar de sacar todos los puntos posibles para poder calificar a los playoffs.
Mucha de la afición te extraña, la selección mexicana, Chicharito, ¿qué le dices a ellos? O sea, ¿sigues metiendo gol?
Que gracias por su apoyo.
All right, thanks for your time, Javi.
See you guys, thank you.
So sorry, that outside of your group is at center back, and that we saw some. We never got a chance to see 2 center backs take over the role and just keep it all season last year. We had players coming into the league who were really learning the league, and it's a very different league than what you think it's going to be coming in. That's a question mark now. Is the Galaxy good enough at center back? Your thoughts on that, and in what ways you might dispel that?
I believe we're more than capable at centre back at the moment. We have Nick Depew, who I felt improved so much last season, and in the last 2 months of the season was probably one of our better players. The manager talked a lot about the back four becoming more active, covering a lot of ground, going laterally and more forward, and basically taking more responsibility on the pitch. But then if you look at Derek Williams, obviously he's played a lot of games at a high level in the English league, so Jalen's coming through, and we've got Sega, so we've got 4 very capable centre-backs there. I think kind of circumstances last season where Derek was injured, then he was suspended, Sega got injured, and then we never had a settled 2 kind of thing, or 2 or 3. Maybe didn't help, but I felt towards the end of the season we kind of found a good formula. And yeah, I mean, speaking about Nick especially, the improvement since the start of last season was massive. So I feel more than comfortable playing with those guys.
Jonathan, obviously last season you had a pretty successful season. I know this is a team sport, but individually, what would you like to accomplish this season?
Yeah, I felt, individually, if I looked at myself, I was happy, but it's very difficult to do that when, we didn't accomplish what we wanted to as a team, and it kind of taints that season looking back. So really, I would, taking away from my individual kind of goals this season, I would want to achieve the team goals that we're trying to achieve. So if we first of all concentrate on make the playoffs and then going as far as we can within those playoffs after that. But look, last season we felt, we got off to a great season, and we were comfortably in the playoffs. I think we were in the playoffs every second of the season until about 20 seconds to go of the season. So it's not an unrealistic goal for us. Obviously we're expected to win championships at this club, but yeah, first of all we have to concentrate on playoffs, and then we can concentrate on championships.
Does that last game of the season, you guys still talk about that, or you just put that behind you and sort of use it as the motivating factor going into this season? Or
That game really didn't maybe have the impact that people would think it would have done, because we kind of were disappointed the way we finished the season in general. You know, we should never have been in that position. Once we're in that position, then a last-minute goal can happen, and those things happen. That's football, that's soccer. So the reality is we had a real bad run towards the end of the season, and then we were trying to recover that. And it's a shame because we started off so strongly. I felt we were one of the better teams in the division, and I definitely don't. And people say the league table doesn't lie, but I don't think that we were the 8th best team or wherever we finished in the division. No way.
Jonathan, for you, how has just being a part of LA and being in the city, just the experience been? I know you've enjoyed going also to NFL games, NBA games, and being in the city of champions, and now translating that new hope and the objectives that you guys have as a team for LA Galaxy as well.
Honestly, I've loved every minute of it. I felt very settled from minute one when I came over here. I kind of found somewhere to live, and I found myself comfortable within the city. First of all, within the club on the field. So I had a very good support network from my coaching staff, and then I felt the love of the fans as well very early on, and that kind of really helps a player settle in on the field. But then off the field, yeah, it's very difficult not to love living in LA. You know, there's. Everyone talks about the weather, but coming from England, that really is a big deal. It does actually make a difference on people's mood, and it just makes you that little bit happier every day, you know. So obviously there's lots to do here, and it's an amazing place to live, but we all should recognise that we're lucky to play for this club in this area, and now it's up to us to kind of repay that.
Jonathan,
Greg,
personality-wise, how's the vibe around this team different?
Honestly, we've recruited really well. I think the guys who have come in, Raheem, Kelvin, Markey, Douglas, everyone's fitted in really well. And one thing I would say about last season's dressing room or locker room was that there were no egos at all. I mean, our biggest DP last season, obviously still our biggest DP really was Chicha, and he was our hardest worker. And that kind of sets the tone for it gives no one else anywhere to go, if that makes sense. So. Yeah, again, I feel the exact same at the start of this season. Douglas has come in, he works very hard, he's very honest, and like I mentioned, the other guys, it's very, very. The club have done a very good job of bringing good personalities, is what I would say, and you can feel that around the locker room.
All right, thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Julian, how are you feeling? We didn't see you with the first team starting group most of the preseason after you went off with Mexico. How are you feeling, and in terms of game fitness and all that? How have you kind of rounded into shape?
Yeah, I feel good. You know, obviously I went away for a couple weeks, and I took a little bit of time off with the team. I feel good. I feel fit. I feel healthy. I've been back working hard and trying to fight for my spot, and yeah, just controlling what I can.
Do you feel like you're in a fight for a spot?
Yeah, I feel like everybody's in a fight for a spot. You know, I'm here. I'm working hard. I'm trying to fight every day and do what I got to do, prove myself, and yeah.
Julian, how do you feel about the chemistry with the defense this year? Do you feel like it's progressed?
Yeah, 100%. Everybody's cool. We've been working a lot defensively, especially with Coach Dan. You know, we've done just specifically with our back four, positioning, how we move together. But it's definitely gotten up from last year, and we're trying to not concede as many goals as we did last year. So that's one of our big differences this year.
Julian, I gotta ask you about the kicks, bro. We got the Mexican flag. Talk to me about the kicks. When did you get those done?
So I made these with Nike, and these have my best friend's name on them. And I'm trying to dedicate this year. Hopefully this is one of my most important years of my career, so I'm trying to do whatever I got to do and dedicate this year to him.
Where can fans get a pair of those?
Nike.com.
Julian, you've been getting a lot of very good minutes with Mexico, and this is a World Cup year. How important do you think is this Galaxy season going to be for you?
I think it's extremely important. I think this is one of the most important years of my career. I'm just going to try to take every day a day at a time, and just progress every day, improve every day, be myself, and play every game consistent, trying to be good at my top and play how I play, and just continue to hopefully get minutes with the Mexican national team, get call-ups, and yeah, like I said, trying to control what I can control and always improve.
Where do you think you need to?
The experiences that you've had so far with the national team, how has that helped you grow, and how can you apply what you have seen and learned there here every day with the Galaxy?
Yeah, it was a blessing going with the Mexican national team. You know, being around players that I watched as a kid, playing with them, learning how they go about their days on and off the pitch. It's given me confidence to bring back here. I've came back and try to be myself, and you know, try to do stuff that they do. I took away a lot of stuff that they did back in Mexico, and you know, they're all very hard workers, all very good people, and I was very happy to be with them, and it was a huge blessing.
In terms of defense, Greg has talked about it, and he's shared that message of how important it's going to be for the team's aspirations to be solid as a whole, as a defensive unit. So how much of a responsibility do you feel with the experience that you have already in the team to be able to shape that defensive identity?
Yeah, you know, it's all of our responsibilities. You know, we're all trying to have a voice. We're all going to be demanding of everybody. We know that we conceded a lot of goals last year and the year prior to that. But we want to improve. Everybody wants to improve, not just the back four, but everybody defensively as a group wants to improve, and we're all going to be holding each other accountable. And I feel like, you know, being with this team for 4 seasons, yeah, I'm going to try to do whatever I got to do. I know I'm a defender first, so I'm going to work as hard as I can to not concede as many goals and help in the attack as well.
Julian, is there a little bit of you that feels more of a leader, kind of having those seasons under your belt? You're not the young guy anymore. You've got some experience and might have some more command on the field too when it comes vocally, especially.
Yeah, for sure. So I was having a conversation with one of the coaches, and I think something that I want to take over this year is being more of a leader. You know, being more of a voice on the team. Last year I didn't talk as much, I didn't yell as much, but this year I'm trying to hold everybody accountable as they did to me last year. I know everybody's doing the same, but I feel like I'm trying to be a leader. I'm trying to step it up. You know, as I get older, as I continue with this career, I want to just keep that and improve everybody.
Anything else? Thanks, Julian.
Thank you.